Hello, this is Daniel Vayon, professionally known as Johnny Mac. Welcome to on YouTube. This is the Daniel Vayon Show. On Launchpad One, this is the Wrestling World as I See It podcast. Welcome to part four of March 17th, 1997's Raw vs. Nitro episode. Last night on WCW Monday Nitro. Actually, I said this on a video to put to upload to YouTube. So let me state that I didn't get to watch Raw last night. Raw from this date last night because I wanted to wake up this morning, and it was already getting to 9 o'clock, so I ended it early. And the one thing about Raw from this night that really was so big enough um, that they show a picture of it on the episode guide on PeacockTV.com was how Paul Heyman and all his ECW um, stars, if you want to call them that, showed up on Raw to confront him again. And by the way, found out who the opponents for Hall and Nash were this night on Nitro. It was Bunkhouse Buck, and it was probably Mike Enos. That by this time they were trying to give Mike Enos help as far as being in WCW goes, and they put him with Colonel Parker a couple of times, which that was about a year before this, and then they put him first with Dick Slater, who was with Colonel Parker, and then with Bunkhouse Bucker 2, was with Colonel Parker. So that's going to be on the Nitro side. We see what's on Raw. They're promoting the WrestleMania 13 event, and they were reminding people how the sponsor of the event was PlayStation. And this is what made the old days so good is they could put a title match on the line on a TV telecast, and you didn't mind watching it because either way you knew it was going to be a good pay-per-view, or at least that's what you believed, because you just liked watching it because you liked it. So I don't know what the next, like I said, I don't know what the actual matches are. They are about to have an interview with Shawn Michaels, who they had thought was officially almost finished. This time they didn't know what was going on with his knee, so that's what made this so interesting. Oh, speaking of building up the pay-per-view, the next match after this interview was Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, European champion and one half of the World Tag Team Champions, going against the man they call Vader, and they're going to go against the man they call Vader and Mankind in a title defense at WrestleMania 13. So that's going to be good. Then you have a filler match between Billy Gunn some job guy. Then they had Ken Shamrock get in there with Billy Gunn, and I believe the attempt was to show what to expect from him as a referee for the submission match, or to show why he's refereeing the submission match in the first place. What I thought was interesting was how, when what was believed to be the second hour of Raw, I believe, they would re-air the opening credits. I always thought that was excuse me. I think that is interesting because it's usually just a full show, and you have to wait until the next week to see the opening credits. So that's why I think this is interesting, because it's different, it's unique for the time. Today, I think they ran out of ideas of how to use their entrance videos. So on Raw, a lot of times all you see is them doing Then Now Forever, and that's it. There's no music or anything. And I think it's because they ran out of ideas of how to use the video, how to use their entrance videos. Oh, I remember this. As Shawn Michaels was making his way to the ring, he did the Too Sweet symbol as a way to say hello to Hall and Nash. Okay. I'm reading what they're saying, and Jerry Lawler said he was just thinking. By this time, I think they brought out Jim Ross to fill in for Vince as he's doing this interview. Jerry Lawler was talking about him coming back was maybe um, premature on his part, because yeah, he may not, and they definitely have not heard anything from the doctor, which I believe was James Andrews, which is, from what I heard from Triple H. Triple H's real life story, and then from what I read from Kevin Nash's tweet to RG3 and the NFL when he tore his knee. James Andrews is one of the best orthopedic surgeons. So that's when and not just because of that, because you always need to listen to your doctor, especially in a business like wrestling where it's constant. To be honest, I really don't know how much of that was an act, how much of it was real. Like I told my mom once, because embellish um, you have to embellish pain when you're not injured. Sometimes you don't know when you're really injured. So I don't know if his knee was really hurt by this time. I know that many years later, when he went against Randy Orton in the WWE, I know that he started looking like he had knee problems, and he did say in an interview that a live interview that he needed knee replacements and a shoulder replacement. But I don't think it started until around the time that he was in his 40s. Anyway, it was a good story, and the fact that so much of it was true to life so makes it even more interesting. Like when he had cut a promo, so to speak, about why he had to give up the title and his knee being bad. And he made the comment that he lost his smile. And I remember him saying in real life that was all true to life because his mom told him that before he said that on TV. So all that is interesting looking back at it. I am supposed to be talking, I am supposed to be thinking how I would want to talk in character as a manager would speak. And I can't do that in this setting because he's because they're about to do an interview. But I will say, so I'm talking as a fan. I will say this: when I watch the match you're about to do, I'll be speaking the way I think, the way I would talk if I was, the way I would want to talk if this happened today. You know, getting into the mindset of how I think, not just myself, but somebody who really cares about the role of being a manager should handle it today. I've never seen this, so yeah, I'm gonna watch this. All right. Then he found his smile, and that he found that it was bad where he lived, but now he wants to carry it where he goes. He was first thing he did was thank the fans for sending him the cards and all the well wishes. That that was back when fans knew how to have a heart and how to care about emotions of the stars. So he said he wanted, more importantly than that, he wanted to thank fans of the World Wrestling Federation being patient with him. Um, best way of saying this is not for not. Let me restate that. In a lot of ways, he was the 1990s version of Ric Flair, and he may have not spoken about he did speak about women, but not quite in the same way that Ric Flair did. But in a lot of other ways, he was like Ric Flair in the sense of just having no filter in the sense of how you act, how you carry yourself. So that's why I want to thank them for their patience with him. And Shawn Michaels admitted to being difficult to deal with at that time. He said, outside of his parents, nobody knows more than himself how hard he is to deal with. So that's why I wanted to thank them. He said right here, and I'm sure it was true, he thought what he cared about him in that way. So that's why he wanted to say thank you. This is the most important part, finding out how his knee is. So that's what Vince McMahon asked him right there. He said that the president of the United States at the time hurt his knee, and he said, "I have to hurt my knee too." It seems like, and even though that was a joke, he did want to be serious. He said that his knee is coming along and it's getting better. He said that within the week he was going to go back to see Dr. James Andrews in Birmingham, Alabama. That's always where he. That's always where his office is. Matter of fact, in 2002, I believe it was, Triple H said that he not in this documentary style VHS they did of him. He he said how he not only went to Birmingham, Alabama, but he had to stay. He had to stay. I'm not sure where it was at. I think he had to stay like in a hotel for the entire rehab process and the surgery and the rehab process. So I know that part is true. At the time we saw that, I remember my brother was living a few hours away from there in Mobile. So I remember thinking, that's interesting in itself. That I'm finding this out on a videotape, and that's about, I believe, 4 or 5 hours away from where my brother was living at the time. I just thought it was interesting that he lived there, and I at the time I knew somebody living too far from him. I just thought that was interesting. That he'll let the doctor will let him know what's going on. He said hopefully within a couple of months he'll be back in the ring once again, whether anybody likes it or not. And you could see that they were treating Shawn Michaels as a babyface right here, because because Jerry Lawler, when somebody is when somebody's a heel, he's right. Used to do like Bobby Heenan. As a matter of fact, called Bobby Heenan his hero once. He used to do like Bobby Heenan, and he used to go against the baby faces. So that's how I know that Shawn Michaels is being treated as a babyface right here because of how Jerry Lawler said, "Oh, rats." Okay, good. Right. He said taking time off has done wonders for him, and he said, "I know there are a lot of people that don't like it. But when I get back in here, I'm gonna be busted and moving like I used to." We can repeat the rest of what he said. He said he does have some sort of bone to pick. I'm sure it has to do with the world heavyweight title situation. He said he has a bone to pick with Vince McMahon. I don't know what that could be. He said that he said that he doesn't understand why Vince McMahon never called him, that reached out to him to offer him to appear just as a guest on the show. And I'd always wondered myself, watching it first on VHS, then on DVD once. I'd always wondered why didn't why was Shawn Michaels out there as a guest commentator of sorts for the main event? And now I'm getting my answer right here. That's why I like to do this. Shawn Michaels said, "I'm gonna have to come on television and invite myself." And fans, of course, cheered that. He said everybody knows he's gonna sit next to Vince and the rest of the commentators. Mm-hmm. Once again, he mentioned how there was an invitation for the Slammies. He said, "I'm up for a couple of those awards." Said he's got a lot of space to fill because I forgot to mention this. I'm sorry. He was building a home in San Antonio, Texas, and he's got a lot of space to fill. So That's why I plan on going to Slammy Awards also. I'm sure if people, I'm sure if people watching um, WWE back when they started promoting DVD stories, I I want I don't know how many people from that time watched his story, but I'm sure if any of the women did, I'm sure they felt like, oh man, I thought he was like that in real life. I can't believe he fooled us this whole time. In real life, he was cocky, he was arrogant, but not about his looks. He was arrogant about what he could do in the ring. He was shy when he came to women. The the next segment. Actually, I think I already said it, so never mind about the next. What they do next. This is interesting. It looks like it's only gonna be about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and it's gonna be British Bulldog against Vader, and I don't know if I don't know if they had him put up his European Championship against Vader, but I know that regardless was a good way to add suspense. Um, just like one last interview or promo, as they call it, is a good way to help set up the match. This match was a really good way to set up the World Tag Team Title match for WrestleMania 13. So that's what I'm really interested in seeing. Now, I don't know. I was always and still am a big belt fan, championship belt fan, but what I really have always thought was one of the most important um, division they have would be the tag team division. The reason I thought that was so important is because since it's one on one, having two people having four people against each other where they have to tag in and out makes it interesting because you you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know you don't know when an accident's going to quote accident is going to happen that's going to get the one tag team upset and it's going to cost them either a shot at something or sometimes the champions will lose the titles because of a miscommunication. More than anything, because it's one on one and it's not a it's not a sport, it's entertainment. But you when you have a tag team or 3-man team or 4-man team for that matter, it makes it interesting because you realize it's not just one on one. You realize it's everybody working to give the fans what they have. What I like even more so is that I found out how so many great, not only heavyweight champions, but U.S. champions and U.S. champions and Intercontinental champions were part of a tag team. So what it shows is that it's not a variety show in the sense, it's not a traditional variety show, but it's a variety show in the sense that it's a variety of characters, and they a lot of times you get some people that only can work by themselves, and sometimes you have people that all they can do is work in a team. And I think that in itself is amazing because there's so many people that only know them for what they accomplished on their own. So the fact that some only only have success in tag teams makes it amazing. And I don't want to repeat myself, but when I say it's amazing, it's I just have to be honest. I don't know what other word to use. It's amazing to me because I'm used of seeing people that have done tag team, singles, tag team, mid card, main event. Bret Hart, Ric Flair, and people like that. But when you see people that all they've done is work in tag teams, then it makes you wonder. I wonder how they know. Wonder how they know by being around, the guys that they book. Wonder how they know who's gonna be perfect for the the tag team scene, and who's gonna be perfect just being by themselves. I had to refresh the videos. Had to wait another minute for the advertisement to finish so that I can see the match coming up. Now it's back. Vader's Vader just went across the ropes like usually did to get ready. Paul Bear's in the ring with him along with Mankind. They had to go through the introductions before they bring out David Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. Right here, David Boy Smith weighed about 253 pounds. And it's as I just found out from the introductions before British Bulldog came out, this was a non-title match, which is as it should have been because the story here was that they're going to challenge for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. So as it should be, it should have been a non-title match. Let's see how this match starts off. Talk up. Pushes Davy Boy. Strong as Davy Boy was, I'm actually surprised. Even though Vader's huge. I'm not making fun of that. I'm just being honest. Because even though he was huge, Davy Boy was extremely strong. So that's why I was surprised that he threw him that far. Now he didn't like go off his feet, but he still moved about I believe was 2 feet in the ring. That I thought was a lot for Bulldog to be budged that much. He was even so this time when they locked up, he was pushed into the right into the corner itself. And as you could see, he had been doing some tanning, or went in a. I don't know if they had tanning salons in those days, but he did look like he got a tan somehow, either outside or somewhere else. So he'd been doing some tanning because when he went against the rope, against the turnbuckles, then he came off of them. Big bright spot on his back cane to to show that he had been tanning. Surprised the referee's not counting now. He is 3, 4, 5. Who gets to 5? There's supposed to be a disqualification. I think there was a mistake on referee's part, and it's referee Mike Chioda. Harsh whip. Standing avalanche knocks down British Bulldog. Ooh, headbutt. Knocks him down with that clubbing. I'm not sure what to call it. Thrust maybe, where it does like that. Short arm clothesline, made famous by Jake the Snake Roberts. Doesn't even knock him down. So he went down to the pectoral area, knocked him there. Once again, we go in for a short arm clothesline. Didn't knock down Bulldog. Bulldog runs, goes for shoulder block. Doesn't budge Vader at all. Third time, Vader tries a clothesline. It was ducked by David Boy Smith. Comes back. This time, instead of doing a regular shoulder block, he jumped. He jumped to do, and this time it knocked him down. Jumped up like one of those football players do, or like John Cena has always done. Then he goes for a clothesline, knocks down Vader. Okay. Run from face lock. Looks like he's going for vertical suplex. This side. Yeah. Those lines him over the top rope into the floor. Mankind's actually trying to and tell him to get up. Go to a commercial break, and I believe we're gonna have another advertisement. Yeah, but children's Claritin non-drowsy. That's what the commercial's about. On some type of adventure. The adventure is outside. They're letting their imaginations run wild. Okay, back from the commercial break, they show the slogan for Raw, say all they're live, and that they were in Syracuse, New York for this night. Vader's about to do a splash from the middle rope. Gets it. Even at the leg. 2. Kick out by British Bulldog. No, that kick out threw Vader off of him. By the way, today happens to be Owen Hart's birthday. Um, so he was out there watching the match, encouraging Bulldog get back in it. Bulldog's about to do the sunset flip. He ducked when Vader went to sit down on him. Run. Running crossbody press knocks him down. True kick out by Vader. He blocks that clothesline. Looks like he's going for, pardon the term, crucifix pin. Yeah, but Vader comes back with a Samoan drop. Running splash by Vader now. Hooks the leg to kick out by the British Bulldog. See, some middle rope. See if what he does here. Avalanche. Best way I could put it. I think that's what King Bundy used to use it when he used to run, hit people in the corner, and that was powerful enough to where he took them down. And instead of a 3 count, he always asked the referee to count to 5. All he did was run up to them, and he was in the corner, and he would a full splash, boom, like that, and that's what Vader would do standing up. He did that off the ropes. Only got a 2 count for it. Actually, he didn't make the cover. I'm sorry. I don't know what he was hoping for. Excuse me. Short arm clothesline. This time knocks down Davey Boy Smith. Let's see. They're just gonna go for someone from the middle rope. This time, power slam is used as a counter by Davey Boy Smith. Clothesline takes down Vader. Another clothesline takes him down. Irish whip reversal by Vader. Ah, this time he gets caught by a Bulldog scoop slam. Okay, so Vader's getting to his ropes. To his feet. I'm wondering what's Bulldog gonna do next. Oh, he's gonna go for the running power slam. Can't. Mankind and Owens getting on. I thought so. Disqualification. Looked like a double disqualification, or just a disqualification on Vader's part because Mankind was holding his foot trying to pull him down. The referee saw it. So now Mankind and Owen Hart are starting to fight each other. Headbutt by Vader to Owen. What I'm wondering is, where is Jim Cornette this whole time? Because I thought Jim Cornette or Clarence Mason was supposed to be their manager. Paul Bearer was on the apron. He gets knocked down by Bulldog, so the urn fell. Bulldog picked up the urn and hit Vader in the back of the head with it. Then he hit Mankind in the forehead with it. Let's see what they had to say. I'm going to have to put this on audio. Jerry Lawler said to disqualify them. I don't know if people can hear that in the back, but that's what he said. But I think it was Mankind, no, Vader that was disqualified. That's how long I've been talking for. All right. Aaron Ferguson was the job guy against Rockabilly Gunn. So, a lot of people may have forgotten by this time, but Billy Gunn originally was a cowboy, so being put with so having being put in like a being put in a cowboy hat again was not really a stretch for him because that's how he started in the WWE. Throughout this okay, he actually won the match, not surprising. This was a quick squash match. He starts he starts laughing at Billy Gunn, at not Billy Gunn, but Ken Shamrock. For people who don't know, don't ever do that with somebody like Ken Shamrock in real life, because he was called world's most dangerous man. That was not pretend. He was called that before he was in wrestling. I mean, even he was the when you talk about how long mixed martial arts fights last, we talk about how quickly Mike Tyson ended most of his fights in boxing. That's the kid. That's what Ken Shamrock did in MMA when he was younger. So no, the last thing you want to do is mess with Ken Shamrock. Yeah. Mhm. This is one of those moments where I think it's supposed to be self-explanatory, but I think, look back at it, I think Ken Shamrock should grab the microphone and let people know what he was about to do. Took them down right away. Something we've seen in pro wrestling for many years, where you it goes to like future war arm bar. That's what it's called today. Take your opponent's arm, you go sideways, you take them down, you go sideways with it, and you pull upward on it. And like he said later on, he was trying not to hurt him. He was just trying to show him, I don't want to hurt you, but if you push me, I might have to. And that was just one example. Billy Gunn was playing it off like, oh, that was just luck. He just got lucky. This time he gets him in a waist slug, gets him down. Another maneuver we've seen for years, drop to a hold. Time he puts him in the ankle lock. Like you said later on, both times he's not trying to hurt him. He's trying to show him what he can do, warning him, you can end this now. All you have to do is walk away. He grabs a chair. Referee Billy Silverman's trying to stop him. He's trying to protect him from himself. Throws it. Finally, decides to jump down. He throws it down on the padding outside. Shows Steve Austin in the back. I think he was about to respond. He also claimed Ken Shamrock was trying to take advantage of Billy Gunn, so he doesn't have any respect for that. So what's impressive about this? That he doesn't belong in the WWE because that's his place, not Ken Shamrock's place. But if you ask Bret Hart, but if you ask Bret Hart in those days, wrestling was his yard. Period. And that, even though that's a character, because most of that character was about, I want to say about 80% of it was true to life. 20% may have been pretend. I'd have to say this: if he meant any of that, then he doesn't know that Ken Shamrock was a star before he even walked into the door of the WWE. And the most important thing was more question to ask him, which was just asked, was about Gorilla Monsoon's decision about giving Bret Hart this title shot because he may have a title shot this Sunday. I know he didn't mean this because he admitted that he only knows three holds, but he claimed Bret Hart on his best day can lace his boots. Well, all the ability that Bret Hart had the reputation for having, I'd say that somebody with Steve Austin's reputation, as he said himself, he only knew three moves himself. Or at least that's all he could think of doing. I think is what he meant. So to say that is pure is pure entertainment quality. It's not just to get people to want to see it. So it shows how much he had learned throughout his period of wrestling in Texas and then in WCW, ECW, and then here in the WWE. They're showing the construction of the steel cage, and this steel cage is not the normal steel cage that comes down. This is the kind of cage where you have to escape it in order to win. And I always thought it was interesting when they would show the construction of that. I only have a 5 hour window or storage here on StreamYard, so I'm gonna end it here and come back here later on to do the rest of Raw versus Nitro. Thank you and goodbye.